Hello and welcome to Counting the Omer 5786. This is the count for the night of the 15th of May 2026, Shabbat Shalom, or going into the day of the 16th of May up until sunset, at which point it will be a new day. Let's start with a blessing for this commandment. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctifies us with mitzvot and commands us concerning the counting of the Omer. Hayom arba'a ve'arba'im yom shehem shisha shavuot u'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is day 44, which is 6 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Kabel gvura shebemalchut Elohim. Receive strength within sovereignty, God. Now we're about to jump into what this means, what these kabbalistic sefirot mean as we contemplate them this day. But before we do, let us read this blessing for Torah study. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who makes us holy with mitzvot and who commanded us to busy ourselves with words of Torah. We are in the 7th, the last week of the counting of the Omer, which corresponds to Malchut, sovereignty and physical reality. This is the 2nd day of the week, which corresponds to Gevurah, strength. Materializing boundaries and discipline. It's one thing to think about boundaries, and it's another thing entirely to hold them. It's easy to talk about discipline, and it's something entirely different to maintain it within yourself. We've already talked about how strength can be wielded in a healthy or unhealthy way, and how we can harm or help people with the same tool. Boundaries, for the sake of boundaries, can turn into cages, but boundaries can also promote integrity. Power over is usually destructive, but power with can be transformative. How do all of these lofty ideals get turned into real action, though? The law is a boundary. The law, this thing that we're reaching towards, the very soon we're going to stand at Sinai to receive, is a map of the territory of behavior. In Hebrew, we have different words that are translated to English as sin. When you intentionally cross a boundary, it's not just a chet, missing of the mark, it's an avera, literally a crossing over. A chet is like when you're out for a hike near the edge of the territory and you accidentally cross the border. An avera is like intentionally exiting your own territory and going into another. The sefirah of Gevurah is equated to din, judgment, because strength is necessary to maintain the boundaries and the integrity of the territory. Just as national boundaries are only marked out explicitly at certain high traffic points, the rest are maintained in part by buffer zones so that people don't accidentally cross over. It's the same with Torah. We put fences around the law so that we don't accidentally cross the line. And we agreed to these boundaries. The Torah is a covenant, a written contract that tells us what the limits of our behavioral territory are. These are the things we should do. These are the things we should not do. These aren't boundaries for the sake of boundaries, though. They're the lines that mark us out as a people, separated out, the literal meaning of to be made holy, for a specific purpose. We were offered the ketubah, this marriage contract, and we agreed to it. Our Jewish practices are a physical manifestation of the boundaries of behavior that mark us out, that make us holy, and that maintain our integrity as individuals and as people. So, as we did yesterday, we're going to read a few verses from Exodus chapter 19. And furthermore, you will be unto me a kingdom of priests, a people most holy. These are the words that you must convey to the children of Israel. So he went back, Moses, and summoned the elders of the people, and he set before them all the words he just heard, through which he was commanded by Adonai. Then all the people as one sang this, all that was spoken of by Adonai we will do. Their answer was then brought back by Moses himself. These words of the people to Adonai. Thank you so much for studying with me and for counting the Omer with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, or come on over to the school community where there's more room to write longer journal entries or engage in conversation with other folks. Either way, I hope to see you tomorrow.